Well, hello. You are with Longhaultanker on Straight Razor Shaving with Longhaultanker. It is Monday, the 28th of December at about 5:15, a little more, not quite 5:20 in the evening. I'm in Jonesboro, Arkansas, at the Love's Truck Stop in shower room number 5. And we've had an interesting day. Got a couple of issues, one shave related and one truck related. Things always happen. Anyway, for the soap today, we're going to use Taylor of Old Bond Street Sandalwood, and I've got the puck soaking right now, and it already smells delicious. I love that. In fact, this is my second puck. I've already gone through one over the last 5 years, and just recently ordered and opened it and put it in. So it hasn't been in use, but of a short period of time. For our brush this evening, we're going to use the new QED Manchurian Silvertip Badger. It's in a faux horn, as you might be able to see. It's very pretty. Handle's a little small, not crazy about that. Let's get that water off of there. QED, Manchurian Silvertip Badger, very nice. Put it back in the water. And then our razor tonight, I don't know whether to classify this as a new old stock or a modern production. It was sold to me by my guy up in Fort Worth that went missing, with John something or other, out Crowley, John Crowley. It's a beautiful razor, and it is a 1-inch 8/8 Backal, German. It's got silicone on the spine, or not spine, the scales. These are just acrylic plastic. There's nothing special about that at all. Interesting color. Interesting color. I think I know why so many of the straight razor companies do brush handles and scale handles in this orangish. I've seen a pair of ivory, 1800s ivory, that was almost this same color after they turned. You know, you get that creamy looking color at first, and then they turn with use over age, I guess. And I've actually held them in my hands, and it was actually just a little bit darker orange than this. Anyway, for whatever that's worth. I believe this was finished and honed, and I'll be honest, I'm not positive it was either a conical or an Arkansas. We'll find out once we get to using it. The hinge is just a little bit loose. Anyway, let's get going. Let's get it's a little steamy in here. I had a steamed up mirror there for a minute. Get a little soap water going, and that sandalwood, of course, just smells terrific. I've got approximately 32 hours of whisker growth on my face. So we should have a good, fine, comfortable shave. I'll be in Jeffersonville, if all goes according to plan, there's no delays, etc. I'll be in Jeffersonville, Ohio, at the Love's Truck Stop there tomorrow night. And we'll do a 24-hour shave there. which is my least favorite, but nonetheless, the reason I'm going to do it is because where I'm going for my delivery in Monaca, there are no facilities, and I may be required to sit there until they're ready to unload the product for 2, 3, 4 days. The longest I've ever sat there before is 4 days, but it's not uncommon to have 1 or 2 nights on their facility before, and they always want you to come in at 4 o'clock in the afternoon. They never unload you until 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning of whichever day they choose to unload you, whether it's that first day in or something else. So I'm going to be doing some sitting and waiting. I have had a kind offer to meet up with one of the members in the Pittsburgh area. They said they'd drive over to me. My mobility, once I get there, my mobility is at an end until they release me. After they've unloaded me and released me. That's all right. So I look forward to that. I'll reveal that name later. And we might even take a video of something, conversation or something together. Very creamy, the lather is. And using this, you know, you heard me comment on these new QED Manchurian Badgers, how the bristles are just silk-like, just silk. It's just beautiful, which, you know, I watched Nurse Dave's video on how to make the lather. Mostly bowl, and that's fine. I'm a face latherer, as you no doubt, undoubtedly have observed from all of my videos. And I got a sink full of water just below me here that I dip in as needed. And I just work it until I'm satisfied. Yeah, that's fine. On the taste meter, it tastes like soap. There's this guy on the YouTube. They said, "Oh, that's fruity. That actually tastes pretty good." Yeah, go ahead. We're going to do a 3-pass shave as usual. So my issues, I got notice from FedEx on that Simpson Chevy 3 Manchurian Badger that there were operational issues and the shipment is delayed. Well, that's no fun. It's been 12 days since the package got to the shipper from Simpson. 12 days sitting in a post office. Well, I'll say this about the edge, it is sharp. It is not aggressive, it's not uncomfortable, so it's not a synthetic edge. I'm still not clear on whether it's a conical or a Arkansas. Very nice. So that's the first issue that I'm having is with why the product is delayed and when will I see it and get that nice Manchurian Chubby 3 in my hands. But that's one of the reasons why I got these QEDs when I saw them, because I anticipated, I don't know, I've only ordered a very few things from outside the United States, and sometimes they come quick and sometimes they don't. And so I just had a feeling, No, I'm not psychic. Blah, 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 blah. going to go out on a limb and say with the ease and comfort I'm having with shaving this razor that it was a conical edge. Now when we get over to the collection of vintage razors that I have, there are going to be more of those that are Arkansas. As is my habit, when I've been assigned a new load, I always go down to the truck the night before. Take all my gear, take all my food, get everything stowed away, get a good night's sleep. If the trailer's available, I'll hook up to the trailer. If I'm the one loading it, it's an empty, clean and empty trailer, then I'll go hook to it. If I get a preloaded trailer and it doesn't come back to the yard until after 12 noon, let's say, I'll go down to the yard that morning. If it comes into the yard closer to 4, 5, 6 o'clock in the evening, which they sometimes do, I'll go down sometime about that same time and hook up. But I'll not leave the yard until 5 or 6 o'clock the next morning. So I always come down to the yard the evening before, hook up to the trailer, empty or loaded, and spend the night on the yard, get a good night's sleep. That way I don't have to get up at 1, 2 o'clock in the morning and have to come down to the yard and get all sweaty and hook up the trailer and then be on my way to get, if I'm loading, to get to the loading appointment. I do my best to avoid the wee early hours of the morning. I like to sleep at night just like everybody else. And I'm not getting any younger. Now this morning when I got up and looked at my dashboard and looked at all the gauges and everything, I had a no charge warning. That means my battery wasn't charging. Well, I noticed a couple of weeks ago. See, I notice things. And so I noticed a couple of weeks ago that it wasn't holding it at 14 amps. So this morning there was this no charge warning on there, and I revved the RPMs a little bit, and it was holding at about 12 something, low 12s. So when I revved it, I got a little bit of a bump, so I didn't worry too much about it. I don't know, maybe I should have. Nonetheless, I went ahead and left and drove all day, got up here to Jonesboro. And as soon as I stopped the truck, I didn't turn the engine off, as soon as I stopped the truck, and it had been holding all day because I've been watching it, and it held most of the day, all day, between 13 and 12.8, 12.9. I didn't see it fall any lower than that. Now remember, I'm not a mechanic and I don't want to be one. But I can watch numbers on a gauge easy enough, just like I got to watch the temperature on this particular product. so when I got stopped tonight, and that no charge warning came back up, I called my shop in Houston, and they're the ones that direct all of the such things. And he said, well, I can either refer you to a dealership shop tomorrow, or you can just keep your eye on it and don't turn the truck off. Well, I never turned the truck off anyway. Well, I got a question from a guy on YouTube that's watching my videos, and he says, what razor would I recommend for a one and only razor? And I don't know that I can do that. I mean, I've got some ideas, but let's start with the discussion on why do you want to shave with a straight razor? You want to get into it for the nostalgia and the collecting and such like, because I don't know anybody that's just got one straight razor. And quite frankly, you really need to have more than one in the event that something happens. And if you're not honing, which that's a part of the discussion too, is if you're going to go into straight razor shaving, who's going to keep your razors sharp? Are you going to learn to hone? Are you going to send them off? Or you have somebody nearby that'll do it for you? You know, how's that going to work? And of course, my story is that I learned to hone at the same time, or even before, I shaved with a straight razor. My first razor that I shaved with, straight razor, was one that I honed. It was one of those gold dollars. And so, you know, if you're asking me to recommend one straight razor, how are you going to keep it sharp? Are you going to hone it? And if you are going to hone it, then you got to buy the hones. And that's where I started. Not everybody does, and I get that. So I want to know more about how this adventure into straight razor shaving for this fella that's asking the question, what's that going to look like for you? Where are you going with it? But that said, you know, gold dollars to learn how to hone and begin your shaving with. My first quality production or modern production razor was a Dovo Bismarck, and very, you know, excellent. I know there's some fellas that would recommend some sort of inexpensive vintage to begin learning how to shave on. It comes to you shave ready from somebody, and you know, that's fine. I have no particular recommendations at that level, which one would be better than another to have as your one and only razor. I have no recommendations there, but that I wouldn't buy at that level for me. I've already done that. I bought a couple. I said, nope. Now that Bismarck's a 6/8, as everybody knows. My second modern production razor was a Thiers Assard 5/8 round point Golden Eagle. And so either of those are excellent first razors. But again, I say, how are you going to keep it sharp? Oh yeah. Well, I hope that meetup works with the fella from the Shaving Cadre that I'm going to meet up with. Oh, I haven't mentioned, if you're watching me on my YouTube channel, thank you. If you're watching me from the Shaving Cadre website, thank you. I appreciate it, and I'm enjoying. I haven't had much time to participate as much as I would like in some of the regular discussions that are ongoing over there. And time is always a factor. I mean, when I'm on the road, the amount of time that I have to shave and eat and sleep and take care of anything else I need to is very limited. And when I'm home, I try to spend as much time with my wife as is possible because, you know, like any good husband and any good wife, I miss her when I'm on the road and away from her. And we talk, you know, and video chat and all that stuff. But gotta spend time with your wives. And I never know how long I'm gonna be home. 1 day, 2 days, 3 days. This break over Christmas, I didn't know how long I was gonna be home. And I didn't request any extra or special time off, no vacation time. I just signed the board when I got in and went home. Very nice indeed. The leather is holding up very nice. I think this looks more like the consistency that Nurse Dave was talking about. Just look how creamy that is right there. But that came through working it on the face and adding a little bit of water. So this is a soap that I'll be using all week, unless I decide to use a little bit of that Seal Bigelow. Oops. Let's do a little cleanup around here. I got something back there. Came in a little hot, a little steep of an angle, I'm sure. The blood used in the making of this video is real and my own, not synthetic. I don't know why that's funny. We're getting there, we're about done. 50 minutes in. I got a nice little gusher going back there, don't I? Yeah, I was a little worried there that I might have nicked the corner of that sideburn, which would not have been symmetrical. That came out just fine. Oops. I forgot a spot. That did it. Well, that's what it looks like when it's done. Oh yeah, that feels fine. Feels great. And we'll do a 24-hour shave tomorrow night and carry this over for our layover before our unloading and delivery. So thank you for staying with me. We're at 59 minutes and 3 seconds. And appreciate you staying. Check out theshavingcadre.com, and if you have any questions or comments, leave them in the on YouTube, leave them in the comments section, and on the Shaving Cadre, leave them in the forum there. And we'll see you next time down the road, tomorrow night probably. Bye.